So you're ready to start your clay project. Let's quickly go over what you have available. Uh, when you go into your bag, you're going to have a brick of clay. This is about 4 pounds of plastic clay. Um, it should be pretty soft and pliable. The bigger it is, the harder it's going to be, but you should be able to work with it. If it gets a little too dry, you can always open up the bag, add a couple spritz of water using a spray bottle. Or just kind of flicking some in there, put your fingers in a thing, toss some water in there. And then you want to push all the air out and seal it up whenever you're not using it. So keep your clay in the plastic bag. I also like to flip it over so that the seam's under it so the weight of the clay is holding that down. So about 4 pounds of clay. You're going to find a small bag. And this is going to contain some important things for your project. Number one, you're going to get a plastic garbage bag. This is going to go around your project. If we want to keep the clay plastic or leather hard or workable, we need to make sure we're adding water, just a little bit of water, at the end of each class session and wrapping it tight. So you're going to have a plastic bag to wrap your project. You're going to have about 3 paper clips. These are really good for going in and sculpting away clay. So these can be nice sculpting tools. You can also pull them apart and use them for a needle tool to draw in as well. So these are kind of some quick accessible home tools that you will have. So you'll have 3 paper clips, you can use those. You'll have some popsicle sticks for the same kind of thing. Working here in my leather hard clay. You can go in and add textures. These are good for smoothing pieces together whenever you're working, to get in areas where your finger is a little too big. So you should have 3 popsicle sticks as well. And you should have some toothpicks. You should have 3 in your area. You don't want to store these in the clay. You don't ever want to attach something by putting it on and putting another piece of clay over it. These are really for scratching and attaching, doing that slip and score method, and also for carving in and getting into those areas that your popsicle sticks can't. So you should have 3 of those. And then the last part is going to be a cork. We're going to be making a bank. Clay will shrink as it is fired, as that water goes out of it, but we want to make sure we have a cork to put in the bottom so you can place items inside or remove them as you need to. So hang on to this. I can only get you one, so you might want to keep it in your bag when you're not using it. So those are our basic clay tools. You've got your bag, your toothpicks, your paper clips, and your popsicle sticks to help you working with it. There is some clay care instructions. Again, work wet and clean wet, so try to avoid clay dust, especially these clay scraps. As you get them, we want to make sure we pick them up and put them in a separate bag or dispose of them. We'll talk about that more in a moment. Wrapping your clay project up at the end of each class, so you may want to keep this as a cheat sheet. We'll be going over this in a future video. And transporting your project back to school, so how to get it back to school to be safely fired so it can come back to your house, be painted, and be used. The other couple items that you will find in your Trader Joe's bag. Everybody's going to have a different color rag. These are from the ceramics department. I wash them every year so you can get clay all over them. But these are used to clean up if you don't have a sponge or paper towels available. And more importantly, a wooden wear board. This will be what you can work on to keep your project stable. This will also be what you can carry back into the school wrapped in plastic to be able to work on your project.